Hello and welcome to the first Chatty Corner of 2016. It was almost the second, because last week I did record a Chatty Corner, but the problem was, last week I had quite a few updates to give you, but it was a really slow news week, so I didn't really have much to talk about in that front. As I went through the week, I realised that on top of that, this week would be the exact opposite. I would have no updates, but I'd have a bit more news to talk about. So I came up with the decision to just scrap what I'd recorded and then just do one recording now. So that's where we are now. I'm doing it the first Chatty Corner 2016 now. I know it's been a while since I've done stuff. That's because, like I said, taking Christmas and New Year off, and I was going to do one last week, but it wasn't because I didn't do it. It was just because I came to do it, and then was like, don't really have a lot to talk about this week, and then realised that if I did all my update stuff last week, I wouldn't have anything now. So it's all getting done this week. Because I've got updates in general of what's happening with the channel. I have planned out the next 12 months of Let's Players. Yes, sort of just after the new year, I sat down and said, what games do I want to Let's Play? I knew what my next Let's Play was, because I've already done the first part, and patrons can already watch that right now. I hope. I don't want another situation like the Halloween thing where I swore that I put it up and then somehow I didn't, but I've looked again at my Patreon and it's there. The update is there, so you guys should have gotten it. If you didn't get it, I don't know what to tell you, because it's showing up for me. But yes, if you're a patron, you already know what the next Let's Play is. Officially, that is going to start next week. So that means that for all you non-patrons, you finally get to see that first part. Admittedly, that first part was a little bit hastily done because I kind of wanted to get it done for patrons before I took Christmas off. But it's going to be a bit better in the weeks to come. I sort of realised just after New Year's, like, I don't know what I'm going to do after that one, and then I kind of got a bit carried away. And I ended up doing the next 12 months of Let's Plays. So I know exactly what I'm doing over the next 12 months. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. And I've got some good stuff and I'm very excited about what I'm going to be doing. Basically, I'm not going to tell you anything yet, but next week I will announce what the first Let's Play of 2016 is for non-patrons, because, again, patrons already know. Things are going to be a bit different in how I do things this year, but not drastically so. But I've got a particular thing that I'm trying to be doing, essentially. Yes, I know that that's vague, but I'm trying to keep things generally vague until I make the official announcement next week. And then you'll get the first part. There's a couple of other things I'd like to do for the channel this year, in the coming months. Got a few ideas and plans here and there that I intend on enacting, but it's not all finalised, but I know sort of what I'm doing. Also, there's one more update as well, because I'm going into 2016, had all these big plans, all these like, this is how things are going to go down, and last week I did a ton of stuff, not just for the channel, but for my own personal development as well. And then it got to the weekend, and suddenly I started feeling a little bit tired all the time. Tired and slightly ill, and it kind of drifts in and out a lot. That's kind of how I've been feeling this past week. I don't know if you can tell from listening to me right now or not. So I'm limiting what I'm doing. I'm doing this because I felt that it's worth saying this just for now. I have booked a doctor's appointment, and hopefully it'll all be worked out in the next week or so. Hopefully it's nothing serious. But I'm trying to look after myself, but I'm going to try as well where I'm in my moments where I'm feeling up to my best, then I will continue to produce stuff, because that's That's who I am. The show must go on. That's my motto. You can't just give up because you feel a bit not 100%. Especially with the very sad news of David Bowie this week, and bearing in mind that the album that he just released, he made it knowing full well that he had cancer. So if he can do that, then I can make silly video game videos while feeling inexplicably weak and tired for no reason. So why not? I will keep you up to date on that health situation, and hopefully it's nothing serious. But yes, just figured I'd put it out there just in case things do take a turn for the worse and I have to take a bunch of time to recover and look after myself and all that kind of stuff. So if there's any delays, I have got a couple of things recorded for the next Let's Play, so you've got at least 3 weeks worth of stuff coming as of next week. So you're good there. That's not going to be an issue, and I will endeavour to get that stuff up for you, and I'm going to get this up for you. If in doubt, keep an eye on Twitter. I will post stuff up there wherever necessary. So there we go. So despite things, I have still been playing games. I've been playing Ocarina of Time predominantly, because obviously this is part of my chronological challenge, and I'm seeing a lot of people who are saying that Ocarina of Time has not aged as well as people think it is. And I'm playing it now, and I'm like, it's still pretty good. Controversially, I don't particularly like Super Mario 64, and I think that has aged horribly. But Ocarina of Time still is very good and very enjoyable in many, many ways, and I'm enjoying getting through it, and I'm trying to 100% it, trying to get all the heart pieces, all the gold skulltulas. I've got a full list of where everything is and when to get it and all that stuff, so that's good. I've also been playing the original Super Smash Bros. As well, because I'm sort of in the middle of 98, 99 sort of thing. And that's a weird experience, because obviously I'm so used to the more recent Smash Bros. So playing the old one is weird in a number of ways. Did you know that you couldn't air dodge in the first Smash Bros? I didn't know that, and I played that game when I was younger. Somehow I forgot that air dodging wasn't a thing until Brawl. Well, I think it was in Melee, but I never played Melee. That's where the competitive players get really angry at me for admitting that I've never played Melee. Yeah, playing the original Smash Brothers, and I can't remember, there was a couple of other things that I thought were weird in relation to that, and I don't know what. But anyway, so that's what I've been playing, Ocarina of Time and Super Smash Bros. And there's the realization that Smash Bros. Came out so soon after Ocarina of Time, and yet Link is so heavily based on the Ocarina of Time Link, so it's like, I didn't realise it's like 2 months gap between the Japanese releases. I'm serious. So I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. They were clearly being developed at the same time, and Miyamoto was probably passing Sakurai notes about like, oh, here's where the game's going. So you don't really think about, but that's clearly what was happening. Anyway, and next up, let's talk about news. Let's talk about news that's been going on. Last week there was no news because it was the new year, and it was just like, oh, we're all going back to work now, within the games companies and within games media, so there wasn't a lot of news going on. However, after I recorded what should have been last week's Chatty Corner, but it wasn't, Oculus Rift, they announced the price of the Oculus Rift, and it's like 600 quid, and it can only be run on a high-end PC, so that's a big cost. So it's very much a niche product at this point. There is no way the casual audience is going to go out and get an Oculus if that's the price point. And now I'm hearing news that you need 4 USB ports to run the thing. I'm like, who has 4 USB ports? Now, of course, I've said many, many times that VR is not going to be the big mainstream success that everyone thinks it is. It is not going to be the future of video games and the way things are going to go. And this kind of thing kind of proves my point. I'm not saying it's going to fail. I mean, it is, to a degree, but it's going to be... certain groups of people are going to be all over this, and then everybody else is going to be just shrugging in indifference. So the people who are going to be all over this are like really hardcore tech bloggers. That's the audience, that's the entire audience. It's hardcore tech bloggers and people with way too much money. And that's it. Nobody else cares. It's not going to be like, oh, parents are going to go to a shop and pick one up for their kids for Christmas. It's not going to be that at all. And I still maintain as well that VR also has physical access problems that affect many people. And to be honest, considering how 3D doesn't really work for me, that's why I don't really like VR. So there we go. That's the Oculus, really. There are rumours, of course, about like how much is the PlayStation VR going to cost, and that's what the big thing is. Because obviously, with things like the HTC one, like that's another PC-based one, and it's another high-end PC thing, so it's also probably going to be quite expensive. But PlayStation VR is a bit different because that's the one that has the potential to introduce the tech to a casual audience. There's a rumour that it's going to cost 500 quid, bearing in mind that at this point you can buy a PS4 for less. So there's basically you're selling a peripheral that is more expensive than the system it works with, which never really goes down well. Now, of course, that's not confirmed, but we'll see. Speaking of weird-ass things that Sony have done, let's talk about the fact that they tried to trademark the term Let's Play. No one knows why. It tells you everything that's wrong with trademark law when a common phrase like Let's Play can be trademarked, or rather, it's at least at the point where someone feels that it's perfectly within their rights to trademark the term Let's Play. And it's not really clear how it's going to be used. They didn't get it, but it's not really clear how it would have been used. Like, a lot of people, and it certainly would seem this way, them using it as a slogan kind of thing. So, like, to promote the streaming services or whatever, they'd use the term Let's Play as a advertising slogan, and that's it. It would just be like, hey, Let's Play. That's... because it wouldn't be the first time that something like that has happened. Because, I'm pretty sure Just Do It is trademarked by Nike. Could be wrong, but I would not be surprised. Because it's an ad slogan, and that's what it is. Some people are thinking that they're doing it because they want to rebrand the streaming service, and they want to get in there using a common term that people already have associations with. It's already pretty self-explanatory what it is, and people know what it means because people have been doing this kind of stuff for like 10 years. Maybe they want to get in there before Microsoft or Nintendo get in there, and I've seen loads of people mention Nintendo, despite the fact that Nintendo seem to not know what streaming is at this point. They see it as an alternative revenue stream and not just free advertising like everyone else does. That's more a symptom of the Japanese gaming market than anything else, considering that other companies feel the exact same way, whereas the Western-based companies seem to be a bit more relaxed on it, which is interesting. That's another story for another day. But yeah, obviously there was a concern with all this, and it's not confirmed one way or the other if this was where this was going to go, that Sony would start going after people, like anyone, using the term Let's Play in the title of a video. And that would have been a nightmare on YouTube, and you can guarantee that there'd be so many issues with that. Not least from Rooster Teeth, who apparently have a channel explicitly called Let's Play. And I've seen people saying that Slow Beef from Something Awful should try and sue Sony. Like, they're joking, obviously, but try and sue Sony for taking the term that he came up with. Because, if anyone has a right to the trademark Let's Play in that term, in that sense, it would be Slow Beef. Because, yeah, he's one of the first people to do a video Let's Play. Ever. But yeah, I don't understand what's going on there. That's a weird thing. I'm just glad that they didn't get the trademark for it, but obviously we'll see where that goes. But hopefully it won't be too much of a problem, especially because I am considering 1 or 2 Sony games as part of my year. Another bit of tiny news, there's lots of little bits of news, nothing sort of really major. The big thing was the VR, the Oculus Rift price. Was one small little bit of news which said that apparently Assassin's Creed may skip a year. Apparently they're gonna, there are rumours flying around that there might not be an Assassin's Creed game this year, and the last time that there's been a year since, the last time there was a year without an Assassin's Creed game was 2008. If that gives you any idea on how long it's been since they took a break. I mean, I think there might have been a spin-off, like a handheld spin-off thing in that year, but that's not really the same thing. You know, there's been a mainline Assassin's Creed game every year since 2009. Let us count them all, shall we? We've got 2. We've got Brotherhood. We've got Revelations. We had 3, and then there was Black Flag, and then it was Unity, and then we just had Syndicate. So that's 7 games for 7 years. So it'd be nice if they took a break, because to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of sick of the series and I'm sick of hearing about it. And this is coming from someone who played Assassin's Creed 2, played the hell out of it, and was just like, this is amazing. Obviously, because I thought the historical setting and the plot stuff and all the conspiracy theory stuff going on behind the scenes, I thought it was all really interesting and really cool. But then it kind of gets a bit boring when you're seeing it every year, and it's just, okay. It'd be good if it took some time out, maybe to think about what it's doing, and maybe take some risks and new directions for things in the future. Maybe. We'll see. And the other tiny little bit of news that's come out is that apparently Lightning of Final Fantasy 13, Jesus Christ, someone at Square has just got the biggest boner in the world for this character. Someone within their executive branch is just absolutely in love with this personality vacuum that is Lightning. Because now, based on absolutely nothing, she is now an official model for Louis Vuitton. Like, just going it, they've putting her in ads for Louis Vuitton, wearing Louis Vuitton clothes, like a normal human being would normally be hired to do. And it makes no sense. And they've also apparently come out with an interview with Lightning, which is her talking about her thoughts and feelings on fashion, and it's like, she's not real. What the hell's happening here? This isn't, and it isn't even like something subversive like Gorillaz, for instance, where, you know, it was not a real band, it was basically just Damon Albarn on a laptop and pretending that it's a band, because a lot of that was just weird and ridiculous and silly and didn't take itself too seriously. But this is like a serious thing, and I don't get it. I just don't understand. I know that I do my arguments with characters in my videos, but I know what I'm doing. It's not meant to be serious. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's very self-aware. But this doesn't seem very self-aware, especially because of all the video game characters to have some sort of association with your brand. Maybe don't pick one of the ones that everyone hates. No one likes Lightning, really. And come on, the best character in Final Fantasy 13 was Saz. He had a chocobo in his hair, and he had an actual personality and a decent backstory. Unlike basically everybody else in that game, and I do include characters outside of the party in that as well. Like, oh, let's go and defeat our destiny by doing exactly what we've been told to do, but that's somehow subverting what they're telling us to do. I don't even know. Power of friendship at the end of the game. I don't know what the hell was happening. I don't yeah, that game still hurts me to think of that game. I sat through the whole thing. I held up and pressed A and pressed X occasionally for 50 hours or however long it was. Why they felt the need to put her as the face of Louis Vuitton, I don't know, but there we go, it's happening. I don't get it. Who at Square is just in love with this woman? Who is this guy? Who is this executive who just has this fetish for pink hair and is just obsessed with lightning as a result? I would like to know, and I'd like him to be named and shamed so that we can stop having this madness, and it'd be nice. And speaking of ending the madness, I think I'm going to leave it here for this week, especially as the tiredness is kicking in again. I wish I knew what this was. But yeah, you get an update from me, and I felt that it was good to at least keep you informed of that particular issue as well, just in case things go wrong, which hopefully they won't. Determined, staying positive. That's my thing for this year, is staying positive and staying grounded and all that kind of stuff, and keeping on trucking no matter what happens. So yes, there we go. So yeah, next week you're gonna start seeing a new Let's Play, and hopefully there won't be a single week missed between now and the end of the year. Hopefully. Recording this last week, I said, you won't be missing a week, but of course with this, whatever it is kicking in, yeah. You don't need to know, you don't care, but I figured that it'd be good to, I've told you all this. Anyway, yes, bye!